Just a few weeks or so ago, you were playing the final of a pro circuit event in a small venue, losing to a little-known Chinese player. Today, you beat the #1 player in the world. Just talk about how you're feeling, how incredible the sport is, its ups and downs.
Yeah, whoa, it's loud. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Obviously, it's happened pretty quick. I'm kind of feel like I'm on the comeback trail. I had a tough year last year for many different reasons, and I just feel like the last couple months I really found my hunger and motivation to be back on the court, training hard again, and so I'm just have been very pleased with that more than anything the last few weeks, the last couple months, and felt like a big result was coming because I believe in my abilities, but I just kind of had to put the pieces together again, and obviously to beat the #1 player in the world is incredible. I mean, it's the biggest win of my career, and I'm just thrilled right now.
How does this compare to the Wimbledon doubles?
Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to compare the two. Obviously, Wimbledon title is pretty incredible, but having a win over a world #1 is equally so. I don't know. It's tough to compare those two. They're definitely highlights of my careers. If I pick a handful of great moments in my career, I mean, this is definitely one of them, to be a #1 player and somebody as accomplished, and Andy, one of the greats of the game.
How long, in a nutshell, what are those many things that you think were not going right for you that maybe you've been able to clean up? Or
Last year, just personal things, professional things. Obviously, I don't really want to get into all the details, but it was a very distracting year. A lot of stuff going on off the court, and just wasn't myself really, or the player that I've been my whole career. Loving competition and being out there, and just kind of went through a little bit of a lull personally, and just found my hunger again, and that actually lasted for a very long time, almost the whole year, which is a long time. But I learned a lot about myself, and honestly, it was a good year in that aspect. If I look at it, like, I just feel like I came out with a little bit more wise about life, about myself, and I think that's why I'm also now enjoying my time on the court so much more these days. The last few months I've been kind of stopping myself during matches and realizing how happy I am to even be competing and playing tennis, and so I think last year was a learning process, learning curve. I think that everybody goes through to some degree. I mean, I think everybody has those kind of periods in their lives, and mine was last year. Hoping that it won't be a repeat, but yeah. So.
How did you see the match from your side? Like, how did it evolve? You were down the break in the first, and just more or less take us through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I went down a break. I didn't feel like I started a little bit kind of tentative, or I don't know, just trying to get into the match, and I just fought well. Even going down a break, I think 2 times, or I don't know if I think I went down 2 times, and each time I was just like, okay, well, we'll just go point by point, and I can break Andy back. I was kind of just trying to stay focused on competing well, and then I was getting, I felt like I was playing better as the match was going on, especially in that first set, and then, I was just kind of sticking to a game plan and kind of distracting my mind with what I wanted to actually do on the court, and of course, still some thoughts come in, especially in the second set. It's not every day you're close to beating the #1 player in the world. So I did well to kind of stick with the process and not really get distracted, and it paid off tonight.
Yeah, Vasek, you just talk about your serve and volley game and how it seemed like you were really aggressive throughout the entire match, especially in the tiebreak. You were still going for it. You weren't sort of holding back. I'll also talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was the main thing I was telling myself, especially in the tiebreak. I remember saying, like, I'm whatever the score is, I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to come out of the match thinking, oh, why did I play a passive point when I'm playing a baseliner that's one of the best baseliners ever, you know, so just loves long points. So I just didn't want to have any regrets. I was like, if I lose this tiebreak, I would have been okay with it if I had try to take my chances. So, you know, that hence the serve and volley in the second serve. I thought maybe he would just want to make the return, and so yeah, I just did well to just just keep focused on what I wanted to do on playing aggressive and taking it to him coming into the net, you know, kind of giving him different looks. Play it a little bit differently than I did, you know, against him the previous times, and that's what I wanted to do. So it worked out. It worked out tonight.
Andy said he's struggled here. He's lost 4 times his first match. You've been in the doubles finals here the last 2 years. How much do you think being here and like a familiarity and success here, how much do you think that kind of helps and played into tonight?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped. I mean, a combination of all those things. Definitely, you know, maybe Andy not liking the conditions here. I mean, I played him here a couple of years ago, and he, you know, took me out pretty easily. But so but yeah, knowing that obviously helps, and having good results here in doubles in the past. But I've also kind of had a bittersweet relationship with this, you know, with the conditions here. Sometimes feeling, oh wow, I like the way they play, and other times, oh, I'm not really controlling it or anything. So I was, but of course, knowing that maybe Andy doesn't like these conditions as much. If you know that's what he says, and maybe his results in the past show, then definitely that helped me, you know, a little bit more belief today.
Also working with Mark, since Mark lives here, did you spend extra time? Did you come here earlier to work out here in the area, and does that help as well?
I think so. I think it helped. I spent the off season here, so and I was here. I was one of the first here at the event, being, you know, coming from Qualies, and also Mark living here. So I think it was me and maybe 3 other guys that were here first, and so I think that may have definitely helped. I mean, can't hurt, right? So, yeah, I've been working on some good stuff with Mark, and I think tonight was kind of some evidence that, for me anyways, that things are going in the right direction.
You work at Mission Hills, and what does Mark bring to your game?
Yeah, we worked out at Mission Hills, and yeah, Mark brings he's a wise guy, wise coach. He's a wise guy. He's a wise guy. No. No, he's got a lot of wisdom, and he's been around for many years. He was a great singles player himself. Doubles, obviously, don't even have to. That goes without saying. You know, one of the doubles greats, but he was a very accomplished singles player, and I felt like he could, you know, help me kind of discover more about my game and how I want to play. And he's been, you know, a great addition, and I'm very pleased with the progress that we've made so far. Obviously, everything takes time. So the first, you know, couple months we were still learning a lot about each other, and now it seems that things are going in the right direction.
How did the connection with Mark come about? And as a second part, how do you put this to one side and not suffer any sort of a letdown going into the next match?
Sorry, what was the first part of the question?
How did the connection with Mark?
Oh yeah, well, last year I you know, we made an announcement with my previous coach. We mutually decided to kind of part ways after, you know, we wanted to have a good year in 2016, and that wasn't the case, and so we just kind of agreed that we'd part ways, and we made the announcement, and then Mark's name was, you know, came up, that he came forward and to the Davis Cup captain and mentioned he would, you know, he'd be interested, and so I was, you know, obviously thrilled with that, and I had a couple options, and then finally, you know, decided to go with Mark, because I felt that his experience, and I liked the way he was speaking, and his, you know, vision for my game. So that's kind of just how that happened. And obviously I was taking my time, didn't want to rush into any decisions, so I waited for pretty much the end of the year last year to make that call. But and then in terms of the letdown now, I mean, it's well, it helps to have a day off tomorrow, I think. Not only also just because it's late now, and, you know, been playing some matches, so I'll rest a little bit, which is gonna be nice. But yeah, honestly, I'm gonna enjoy this tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and just, you know, try to almost forget about it as quickly as possible. It might sound strange, but it's kind of the process now, and just think about my next match. So tonight I'm just gonna enjoy this for sure, and then maybe after the tournament I'll look back at it maybe, but from tomorrow I'm just gonna try to focus on my next opponent, who's a good one. I mean, I've played him before, and he's a good competitor, so it's going to be a good opportunity for both of us. But I'm going to go out there and just try to play the same way I've been playing.
Vasek, how much did the Misha Zverev match with Andy at the Australian Open, was that any kind of a blueprint for you?
Well, I did see the match. I did see the match, so. I mean, maybe you could say maybe it was more like more like a little bit of out of belief that kind of game style. I mean, that would have been the game style I would have taken in regardless, I think, of how Misha had played. But maybe that was one thing. Like, maybe a little bit more confidence that he'd done it that way. But it's one of my strengths. So it's not like. Some players don't like to come in, so it's not like they're gonna watch Misha and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, and and then just. But it just happens to be one of my strong points in my game as well, to come into the net and kind of serve volley, and which I haven't been utilizing as much as I think I could have been over the years. But it's definitely, I would say, one of my strong points, and it helped to see Misha for sure, I think. But it didn't really. I wouldn't have played any differently. So that's hard, interesting.
One real quickie. What did you do best tonight? What are you most proud of tonight?
What did I do best? I would say just not letting him get into a rhythm, not letting him feel the conditions, at least. I mean, I don't want to, but that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to kind of be a little bit unpredictable and not play long points, playing some long points, and then suddenly, so I was just sticking to the game plan. I guess I was most proud of that, especially at the end of the second set, not getting discouraged, being up a break and having chances to go up 2 breaks, and just kind of keeping my head down and keeping up with what I was doing.
All right, thanks, guys.